What's up, NBA and NFL fans? Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the latest sports news, trades, and rumors. Now, we're going to switch gears today. We've got a hot topic about the NFL that has Falcons fans buzzing and Steelers fans raising an eyebrow. We're talking about a potential trade that could see Kirk Cousins leaving Atlanta and heading to the AFC. We'll break it all down, so stick around. All right, so here's the deal. The Atlanta Falcons are at a crossroads with their quarterback situation. Michael Penix Jr. is now seen as the future of the franchise. But what does that mean for their current QB, Kirk Cousins? Well, things are about to get interesting, and we might see Cousins making his way to the AFC in a trade. According to Morris Moten from Bleacher Report, there could be a significant trade market for the 36-year-old quarterback. And in a recent article, Moten named 5 potential suitors for Cousins, with the most intriguing option being the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this trade would involve the Falcons sending Kirk Cousins to Pittsburgh in exchange for a 2025 fourth-round pick and veteran edge rusher Preston Smith. Now, let's break this down. The Steelers have a veteran-laden roster, and they might be looking for a seasoned quarterback like Cousins to help lead them. With 159 career starts, Kirk would fit perfectly into their offense, assuming he can stay turnover-free. He could complement that stellar Pittsburgh defense and help them compete in a tough AFC. But here's where it gets interesting. In this potential trade, Pittsburgh would include Preston Smith, the edge rusher, who's been solid but not quite at his peak anymore. Smith's 32 years old, and while he's not the game-changing pass rusher he once was, he still put up 4.5 sacks and 13 pressures in the 2024 season, playing for both the Green Bay Packers and the Steelers. Smith is set to count for $13.4 million against the cap in 2025, and with 2 years left on his deal, he could be on his way out. But here's the kicker. His contract doesn't include any dead cap hit if he's released in 2025, so the Falcons would have the flexibility to move on from him if needed. So why would the Steelers even consider trading for Cousins and moving on from Smith? Well, they're probably planning to release him anyway, but the trade here makes sense because it allows them to get a draft pick in return for a player they might not want on their roster next season. But let's not forget about the big question here. Will Kirk Cousins accept a trade? That's where things get a little tricky. Kirk has a no-trade clause in his contract, which gives him the power to veto any potential trade offers. And with Cousins guaranteed $27.5 million in 2025, it's possible he might refuse a trade and just push for the Falcons to release him, so he can sign with a team of his choosing, kind of like what we saw with Russell Wilson last offseason. Remember, Russell Wilson also had a no-trade clause, and he ended up getting released by the Denver Broncos and signing with Pittsburgh for the league minimum. Could Kirk Cousins take the same route? Could he hold out for the Falcons to release him rather than get traded? Now, the Falcons might be putting some pressure on Cousins here. General Manager Terry Fontenot recently said that the team is comfortable with Cousins as their backup quarterback next season. Is this just some early game brinkmanship? Well, it could be. Fontenot might be trying to make Cousins think the Falcons won't release him, hoping to force his hand and make him agree to a trade. And let's be honest, Cousins would probably prefer to play somewhere else. And with the Falcons planning to go full steam ahead with Michael Penix Jr. as their future, Cousins might not want to stick around as a backup. So let's imagine for a second that Kirk does agree to the trade and the Steelers get Cousins. So that would leave a hole for the Falcons at quarterback, and they'd be rolling with Penix as the starter. But who knows, if the Steelers move on from their current quarterbacks like Wilson and Justin Fields, they might find themselves in the market for a guy like Cousins. And let's not forget, the Steelers have some question marks at quarterback. Would they really want to add another 36-year-old quarterback to the mix? Or would they rather stick with their younger options? So, where does this leave us? It seems like we're in the early stages of what could be an interesting offseason for Kirk Cousins. While the Falcons have a backup plan in place, Cousins might still hold the power to decide his future. It's a waiting game, but if Cousins agrees to a trade, it could reshape the AFC playoff picture next season. But hey, we want to hear from you. Do you think Kirk Cousins should accept a trade, or should he hold out and wait for the Falcons to release him? What do you think of the potential trade with the Steelers? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest sports news and analysis. Until next time, I'm Host Name, and I'll see you in the next video.